So the New York Jets fired their coach. Awesome. Green Bay Packers. Again, Romeo Dobbs back. Even awesomer. So week 6 of the NFL coming up real quick. What's going on, people? Welcome to another exciting edition of Go Pack Go all day. And I'm going to predict week 6 of the NFL. We are already at week 6. That's crazy. So tonight, Thursday Night Football, the 49ers versus the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. I think the Seattle Seahawks will take this win. It's going to be a close game, very close game, but it's really tough to beat Seattle in Seattle, even though the Giants beat Seattle in Seattle. I think Seattle will turn it around right here tonight. Then you got the Monday morning game all the way out in London. Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Chicago Embarrassing Bears. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to win this game. Why? Because they're traveling all the way out to London. And I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars are at a point where they're at a must-win situation. They've taken too many losses at this point, and they need to win. Chicago Bears, Embarrassing Bears, they're out there. They are just going to fold up, even though they got a decent defense. But their main guy, I think his name is Sweat. He's injured, so we'll see what happens. It should be very interesting. Then the next game, Arizona Cardinals versus the Green Bay Packers out in Green Bay. Packers are playing at home. Of course, the Packers are going to win this game. They got Romeo Dobbs back, and Christian Watson might be back. I'm hearing that the Arizona Cardinals don't necessarily have that great of an offensive line. So if the Packers have a solid pass rush and get to the quarterback, it's going to be a very long day for the Arizona Cardinals and their guy Murray. Packers Jordan Love, he's heating up a little. I mean, he had a couple tough games, but I think that this game is going to be where that he will put on a better performance. I think his throws will get better here. It's just all a matter of time, but I think it's going to be a very good game because the Cardinals have beaten up on the 49ers already. But still, I think the Green Bay Packers pull out the win. The defense is running well. The Packers offense just needs to step up a little bit. Tucker Kraft is amazing right now, even though he's technically questionable at the moment. So we'll see what happens. Moving on, Indianapolis Colts at Tennessee against the Titans. I think that the Colts are going to win this game. Not because the Colts have their backup quarterback, but I think that Tennessee Titans are just not that good of a team. Next game, Houston Texans versus the New England Patriots. Houston Texans will take this win against the Patriots because the Houston Texans have C.J. Stroud and company. And they pulled out a tough win last week, but I think the Texans take the win. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. I'm hearing that the New Orleans Saints are going to be running a different quarterback. Buccaneers are on a roll right now, even though they lost to the Falcons in a tough game previously. I think the Buccaneers are going to win this game against New Orleans. Cleveland Brownies versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. I think that the Eagles are going to win this game because the Eagles are getting some of their big-time receivers back for this game. Brownies have been struggling. They're on that struggle bus still. And they're playing in Philadelphia, which can be a really tough setting to play in. Washington Redskins versus the Baltimore Ravens. This is going to be a really close game, probably a very, very fun game to watch for sure. But I think that the Washington Redskins are going to win this game. Not because I think that the Baltimore Ravens have a lot of weapons, but because I think that the Washington Redskins just have a better quarterback. But it's going to be a really tough game because that running back of the Baltimore Ravens is pretty good. Derrick Henry, even though he's 30 years young, that's pretty old for a running back. He still puts up numbers. I think he's got the most yards out of all the running backs. So you have a running quarterback on the Baltimore Ravens, and then you got one of the top running backs on the Baltimore Ravens. Very interesting to see. They don't have a good defense, apparently, on the Ravens. So Redskins can just score away on that team. I don't know how good the Redskins defense will be for this game, but the Redskins offense is pretty awesome. Los Angeles Chargers versus the Denver Broncos in Denver. I think that the Los Angeles Chargers are going to win this game. Yes, Denver Broncos have been winning some games here and there, but I think the Chargers will take the win here. Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. I choose the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Raiders. Still no Devontae Adams playing for the Raiders. And I don't think Minshew is playing. I think he lost his job at quarterback already. So I picked the Steelers here. Detroit Lions versus the Dallas Cowgirls and the referees. I think that the Detroit Lions will win this game unless the referees really help Dallas Cowgirls win a game again. Dallas Cowgirls won their past 2 games with the help of the referees. But I think the Detroit Lions are just way too good for you to be throwing all those yellow flags around. We'll see what happens, though, because you never know with these referees. Atlanta Falcons versus the Carolina Panthers. There's no question. I know the Carolina Panthers are a little bit better with Dalton in there at quarterback, but I think that the Atlanta Falcons are going to win this game, even though they're playing in Carolina. The Falcons quarterback has proven that he can still throw the football, even though he's a little bit older. But it's going to be a good game to watch. You never know what can happen. Cincinnati Bengals versus the New York Giants. New York Giants, their defense is pretty great right now. I just can't trust Daniel Jones, even though he played a decent game against Seattle Seahawks last week. And the Cincinnati Bengals played a great game against the Raisins, even though they lost in overtime. But I think that this Sunday night football game, it should be interesting to watch, but I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win. They just have more firepower offensively than the Giants. So we'll see what happens there. Bengals win. Monday Night Football. Buffalo Bills versus the New York Jets. The New Jersey Jets. Buffalo Bills are going to win this game because the New York Jets are really dumb in firing their head coach. The weakness of the New York Jets at the moment is their offense. They just can't pull it together, and Aaron Rodgers keeps throwing interceptions. So did it make sense to fire the coach that actually has more control over the defense? I think that was a very bad decision by the Jets. And because they did that, the Jets are not going to the Super Bowl this year. It is a proven fact that any team that has fired their coach around midseason or sooner or later, they don't make it to the playoff. They don't make it to the Super Bowl. So Buffalo Bills are going to win this game. And that's all the predictions for Week 6 of the NFL. And I'm Vinny B. Go Cadillac, have a nice day. And go Pack Go all day, baby.